Hello, Dominic from Keyframe Creative here. So in my last video, I showed you how to construct this scene in After Effects by importing some illustrations from Illustrator and then adding this subtle wobble effect, similar to the cartoon Ed, Edd n Eddy, which I'm a big fan of. So now I'm going to show you a way to animate this scene whilst keeping the stroke thickness the same throughout the animation. So by this, I'm going to show you an example. If I try to make this character quite big here, you would see this stroke is scaling up with him. I don't want that. For this animation, I want to zoom in on the character and have the desk come towards the scene, but I want to have it so that the strokes remain the same thickness throughout, so for all of the elements on here. So there is a way to do that, and I'm going to show you how it works, and it's all using this expression in After Effects. I'm not going to go through the exact details of how this expression works, but I am going to show you how to use it effectively. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to go to Layer, New, and then Null Object. And this will create a null object in the middle here. And I'm going to use this one for the character. So I'm just going to place it here for now. I'm also going to hold down Control and double tap the anchor point tool. And what that will do is just center the anchor point on here rather than it being in a different position. And then what we're going to do is we are going to grab this expression, which I will paste in the description below. We're going to search for stroke width under here. You can see there's quite a few for the character, for the different limbs. We are going to right click on one of them and we're going to press edit expression. And then in here, we're going to paste our expression. And then all we're going to do is just rename the name of this. So this has to be the exact same as the stroke layer you're using up here. I'll explain why in a minute. So we're going to rename that to stroke char. Okay, and then the last step is to essentially make sure that every stroke within this layer is using this same expression. So to do that, I'm going to right click, copy expression only, and then I'm going to select all of the whips in here, and I'm just going to Control V, paste. And that will copy this expression over to each of these. So I'm just going to do that now quickly. Okay, so that's all of the stroke whips within the body layer, which is this one. They've now got that script applied to them. So the last step is to parent, using this toggle, this layer to the stroke char layer. And then what you'll find is as you scale up this here, we haven't applied it to the head or neck yet, but you'll see from the body the stroke thickness has remained the same as all of the others. So I'm going to quickly go through and apply it to the head and neck as well, and then we'll have a look at the final result. So it's that same thing, going to the expression of stroke width, pressing copy, and then we're just going to go into neck. We're going to search for stroke width here, which will bring up all of our stroke widths, of which there's only one. Control V, just to paste it in there. And we'll do the same for the head as well. Okay, and now as we scale up our object here, it will keep the strokes of all of these objects the same. So as a last step, I'm going to go through the entire scene. I'm not going to make you watch that, and I'm just going to apply this effect. Just a quick note, the reason I'm doing different stroke layers, these null objects for each of the different objects, I want this one to be the control for the scale for the desk objects and the desk. I want the character to be controlled by the character one, and I want the shelf objects at the top to have a third one as well, and then I'll be scaling those three elements separately. So all that means is just changing around this script to stroke desk for this one, for example, and then all of these will have the same. Oops. Okay, that laborious process is now complete. So I'm going to quickly unparent everything. And what I'm going to do is just get these null objects all in the right position for my animation. So I'm going to put the character one here in the middle of the character. I'm going to put the desk one down here. Oh, I need to unparent it first, otherwise it's going to move everything. I'm going to put the desk one down here, and I'm just going to quickly center these as well. just because I like to keep things even. And then likewise for the shelves, I'm going to put their null object right here, kind of between them. And then all I need to do is I will parent each of these selections to their respective object here. And there we go. So with any luck, as we scale up each of these null objects, there we go, the stroke thickness is going to remain the same throughout. That is all of these objects here. So now I'm going to animate it. So I'm going to make it so that the camera looks like it's kind of panning in. I'm not going to do this with 3D layers. I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, there we go. So it slows down as we go in. And then the last step I'm going to do to this animation, which is an extra, is I'm just going to use a really kind of a trick animation on these. To do that, I'm going to quickly parent the neck to the body, and then the head to the neck. Go to rotate, rotation using R, edit expression, and we're going to use the wiggle function here. And then there's up the amount it wiggles to 15. This is just a bit of trial and error to get it right. So let's try that. Let's see how that looks. So we're going to copy that same expression. Let's take the head and neck and bring them back. Copy expression only. Press R on these to open up rotation. And we're going to apply it to this, and then apply it to this. It might be a bit extreme, but let's watch. In fact, yeah, I like that. And then when you show everything else again, what you can see is you end up with a man who looks slightly concerned at his office. So I hope you found this useful. Obviously you can play around with these yourself and see how you get on. But yeah, please do subscribe, like the video, and I will be posting more Adobe tips and tricks very soon. Thank you.